I met my husband when I was 18. Okay, we were friends, and I lived away from home. I was in college, so I really couldn't make any big decisions. I mean, yeah, I could. Yeah, of course. Society speaking, 18, I was an adult, but because of the way I was brought up, I really could only see him as a friend. We would go out places, but there was never any kind of activity going on that I couldn't be around other people. We were mostly around other people when we went out. But my parents knew about him because I told them on the phone. And eventually, when I went home on one weekend, I told my parents how I felt about him. And then, like, they had him to come up, drove up here to meet them. And no, he didn't spend the night at our house or anything. He went back home. And my parents, my dad pretty much was okay with him at the beginning, but my mom wasn't. She was like, well, I have to know him better. So, like, we just talked on the phone a lot, and about half a year after I knew him, you know, we were pretty close, but still nothing. It wasn't until the first year of college was over and I came back and started taking classes here that, you know, because I wanted to, well, I just wanted to get a new environment, and I wanted to kind of transfer my credits and try to find out what I really wanted to do with my direction I was going. And so that's when I realized that I really loved him. And of course, he told me when he first met me that he wanted to marry me, but that creeps me out because I don't think that was something I needed to be told at that time. Well, anyway, make a long story short, it's probably 20 minutes already, but before we were able to really go any further, my parents had a talk with him and asked him what he wanted in me, what his plans were, and he said that he wanted to go out with me, but he wanted mainly to marry me because he loved me, and he didn't really want a long courtship or a whole bunch of playing around or anything. He just wanted to basically be my husband eventually. And so when that time came, my dad told him that, you know, whatever happens, you're going to have to come talk to me about it. Well, of course, that was going to happen. I wouldn't have taken a ring from a guy if he hadn't talked to my parents, or my dad especially. And so he went to my dad, asked my dad's permission for my hand in marriage eventually. You know, this was later on down the line. My dad said, okay. He gave me the ring, the engagement ring. And if my dad had not have been asked, I wouldn't have gone further with him because I felt that he wouldn't have had the respect, because my dad was the man of the house. He was my father, and he was, you know, my dad. So basically, if the man or the guy, whatever, doesn't respect your parents, then how is he going to respect you? Because after all, it's kind of like a family deal. I mean, you know, whether we like it or not, when you marry someone, you're kind of all enmeshed in a family, big family. It kind of is combined. And some of us don't live that way, but it's still, nevertheless, it's kind of that way for us anyway. Well, my dad's gone now. My dad passed away in 2005, but my dad and my husband got along very well, and I believe that it started with the fact that he had respect for my husband had respect for my dad, and it started from the very beginning. There was no putting on. They had a lot in common, actually. My dad and my husband are a lot alike in the ways, the kind of things that they like to do, and the things that they were interested in. So when we go by and visit them, they just hit it off, and they kind of hang out together. So anyway, that was my story, and it's long, but thank you for listening, and please let me hear your comments, okay, and questions. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.